Greetings to all and sundry. This is Chancellor North Wales. Time for another Chancellor's View, and this time in nattering about Telford 2020. Well, I've just got back, and we've had, just had me dinner after getting back. And what an event! First time doing it the full in 3 days. Getting down there on the Friday to help out with the setting up, then the full Saturday and Sunday. Um, so a little bit to this background now. Our Wrexham Wings Model Club is now, it appears that my wife and myself are the ones running it. The couple that set the club up, Kat and Cheryl, they moved up north, and fair enough, I understand family reasons. And we've, sort of done a couple of shows without them now, missing them. They couldn't make this year, unfortunately. And so suddenly, like, Telford falls on myself and my wife's shoulders with support from our club members. So a bit of a shock to the system in some ways. And so firstly, as I dive into things, number of shout outs, some massive thank yous as well. I got a list of the people I chatted to, and after all the warbling, I'll do a photo series vid of things that really stood out for me, things that I picked up on, and it'll just be photos with the background music just to show what I sort of noticed and all the rest of it. So the events, you get there Friday if you're running with a club to support the setup. I think they let people in from about 4 o'clock. There was a queue to get the wristbands. I tried to get my wife's wristband as well because she'd be joining us on Saturday, and I managed to mislay her IPMS card doing so. Nearly got shot for it, but luckily we got it the following day. But key lesson learned: don't lose your wife's IPMS card. Luckily she had her membership letter with the where the card had been stuck to, and that showed them. They let her in and gave us the wristband. So anyway, got the wristbands. Found where you are, get your cloths out and start getting the bits and pieces together. Now, one of our club members, Richard, he runs the Formula One and sports car SIG, so he's a real Telford veteran. He helps a great deal, and absolute godsend having him in the club, and brilliant modeler as well. So he sort of helped out on that side with running his own SIG. He was at the other end of the hall from Wrexham. I think in the past they've been next to us, but this time it was like opposite ends of hall 2. So we were next to the 520 models, which always has some brilliant work, and a group of guys who'd come all the way down up from Dartmoor. So good, good area to be with in terms of where we were with the tables and the other groups, SIGs, clubs. After setting up, trundled back up to North Wales. It's only 50 miles from here, so it's a trivial little hour's drive. And then early Saturday morning, set off with the missus so we could be there for as close to 8 o'clock as possible for the rest of the setting up and getting ready for the day's events. Really brilliant show this year. A lot good. Invariably, after what 2021 was like, where the show had been shrunk down quite a bit post-COVID, with COVID not quite dealt with. You know what I mean? We know what 2021 was like. It was great to have the show in 2021, but this year, all credit to the IPMS, to the organisers, it was taken to a level above. Great turnout. Great to see our European friends from the various nations. Somewhat less traders than 2019, but they are trying to get them back. So there was some notable empty space, and they're really working to encourage the traders back and build up that side again, because they really depend upon it. Uh, so really, come to Saturday, diving into the meetups, the chats, and some very, very pleasant surprises as well. So I'm going to first mention um, Champion Scale Modeling. Great to see him. All credit to the guy. He's got his club table, he's got his Spanish SIG, and he's got his BF 109 SIG. And along with all of us with the hours we work on all the rest of it, running those three. Great natter with him and with the guys in his club. Brilliant work on his table. Um, they're a decent club, decent bunch of lads, and always great to see him and have a good natter. Um, saw Miss Modeler, who loves her aerobatic aircraft and her sports subjects, and her fancy colour schemes. Another channel, um, I love her work, follow her vids, some great stuff out there, and she does take, I'm looking forward to seeing her Telford vids and her impressions on what uh, caught her eye. So had a good natter at the table over that. Um, and then good old Steve, Jake Cutter with his club from an author. I loved his Walk Kingfisher, and when I asked him what he did for the catapult, he used the FX pontoon bridge, and he made a lovely job of it. Just sat there, looked quite right. Just it went together really nicely. The early war or pre-war Walk Kingfisher sat on a catapult, and his work of his winter diorama, I really like that as well. So it was great. We had a good few long natters about just scale modeling, the hobby, the YouTube, and all the rest of it. And some nice news that Bangor now has had for the past year, the Bangor Scale Model Club. Bangor up North Wales, just the other side of the Menai Strait from Anglesey. And they have a club. I visited Bangor a few times for various reasons, and all credit to them. They got that up and running. This was their first Telford IPMS. So if you're in Wales, look them up. They have a Facebook group. I'm gonna make sure I get signed up to it, and it was really great to see them as a club at Telford for the first time. They've got a good sized club, and they had some really great stuff on their table. Good assortment of work, good assortment of subjects, which I like to see. Um, so it was great to see those guys as well. And before I dive into other things, I've really got to say a big, big thank you for the guys from the Harrier SIG. Now, I have never won anything in scale model. I've never entered a scale model. I don't think I'm that good a modeler to enter it. But I'd never realised that guys from the Harrier SIG, they go around every year and they look for on the tables and on the other SIGs, the other groups, what Harrier models stand out to them. And I was absolutely flabbergasted when I won second place this year. They asked you to come along, and they'd like the work I'd done on the picture frame display piece Harriers. I'm sorry I haven't got the build videos up for the last two, even though I did them in August. Shows how far behind I'm on build vids. But there is the first one I did from um, the Belize Harrier build, and I've shown you guys the work on my other chances views. So if you look back, um, July, August, you'll see those chances views from that, and they really like them. So all credit to that, and thank you guys. I was given this Harrier GR9, which I will be building as another picture frame build. So huge thank you there to the guys from the Harrier SIG. And they gave first prize to a guy from the 580 modelers, and he done a beautiful piece with two Harriers on the display piece, and beautifully executed models, absolutely perfect in 148. And so just huge appreciation. Never won anything from any of my scale modeling, and to get that for competition I hadn't even entered, because they didn't do it from the competition tables, it was only from the clubs and that stuff that caught their eye. So big thank you to the guys from the Harrisig. Now, my missus, who I think she was a little bit reticent in coming, a little bit pissed with me for mislaying her card. Especially we did manage to get an okay on the Saturday morning. She did the volunteer bit. The IPMS asked the club members to volunteer to help at the entrance, checking passes, that kind of thing. And my missus did an hour's shift with them, and she was really chuffed that she got the IPMS support team T-shirt. So if you are at the event, and they do ask you for help out, they ask Club 6 for support, I'd recommend helping them out. And she was right made up by it, and it helped her feel much more engaged with the event. She isn't particularly a scale modeler, but she comes with us to the club, and she's been supporting and helping the club, and she allows me to have the man cave and have models up around the house, things like that. So thank you to my Tara, and her company was really special. She'd also gone and booked an Airbnb overlooking Iron Bridge, and so Saturday we finished 6 o'clock, grabbed some food from Asda, and then sat nav on. Now, unfortunately, the sat nav sent us past where we were staying and then up a little side street. It was one of those roads. This was at night, no lighting. I probably put yet another dent in one corner of my car, trying to reverse down that little street, and then the wife had to go knock on somebody's door to ask where this place was. Eventually got their nice little Airbnb, but of course with the mist on Sunday morning, couldn't see across Ironbridge Gorge, but her heart was in the right place. And I suppose it saved a 100-mile round trip again. It was nice enough to stay at, but a little bit like, oh God. Yeah, but I think next year we'll book a little bit more in advance and try and find one of the hotels in Telford. We'll pre-plan a little bit more, pre-book a little bit more, as I can see us having to do this again. So that's how I think Telford's going to go for us next year, but definitely a lesson learned, and that even though SatNav has been improving resolution, don't always trust where it leads you. So I try and keep to a budget. I don't, as it is, I'm not much of one for the expensive kits. So what did I get? Well, with the group build, the current one going on for the Nordic, I've just completed the old Matchbox Saab Tunen, and I'm working on the Airfix Saab Draken, which I'm going to be putting on the opposite side, banking in the opposite direction, and in between the two I'm going to be putting now the Hella Saab Viggen, all on brass rods, to create a little Saab trio. I'd done the Saab Sapphire as the first thing for the Nordic group build, because I had this in the stash for a while, picked it up, I think Telford or the Stafford Model Show. I think it was Telford I picked this up. Nice little find, another Hella kit that went together very nicely. I do need to do a video for this. I haven't done much recording. I just threw myself into building it. So Tunen will be getting accompaniment. And I've been looking for the Airfix Viggy, but heck, I'm happy enough with the Hella one. Raised panel lines back. I like the old kits. It was still in the original plastic wrapper. Other find that our kit's been looking for a while, Airfix Fairy Battle, because I've been doing some, as you guys have seen for the past couple of years. I've got the Hamden build and the Blenheim build, and I've got now the Whitley and the Wellington in the stash. So some of the earlier RAF bombers to do some more airfield dioramas. So I've got that for that. And the other find for me was to go with the Voyager, was the Virgin Atlantic Global Flyer A model, the aircraft that um, beat the world record after it being set by this. So that's been on, sits up high up on the shelf. Little mishap when I was at the crew model show that our club sign fell over, clonked this and broke one of the wings off, but always good to bring super glue with you to a model show. So this thing is a little bit, has suffered going to model shows a little bit. So about that, Virgin Global Flyer was the aircraft, another rotten design that then took the world record away from the Voyager. So that's what I'm looking forward to do. And the kits between these two, the kits have moved on significantly, and this is it looks like quite a very nice kit. I have to find a pilot figure for it though. That, and the last thing I did pick up was this seam tool made by IPMS, or commissioned by IPMS, for scraping down your seams. I'll give that a go, see how that works out. That's £6. So, as I say, get to the Sunday. They always do a brilliant job with the moments of silence, with the 2 minute, with the Sunday remembrance. Top job for them. And though I've never been, they do also have a Remembrance Sunday service at Telford as well. And normal person who runs it wasn't able to, and picked up. They have that as well. Saturday, one thing I forgot to mention is they have a meeting of the club and SIG leaders now. As you guys know, I joined Wrexham Wings Model Club after I'd been running a War Games club for 17 years and I wanted to step away from running clubs. But sometimes some things in life you're not going to get away scot-free from it. And so this year I did attend the club and SIG leaders meeting at Telford, where the organisers from IPMS discussed the event, discussed state of IPMS Scale Model World and IPMS UK. Great discussion, a lot of ground covered, and how they're going to sustain it. And it looks like they seem quite happy over the challenges we had in 2021. Things have turned out a lot better. I'll be checking the IPMS website for the report on Scale Model World, how it went this year. And I think they they've certainly broken even, and maybe made a little bit of a profit, which is the main goal. But they need to get more traders in after losing so many because of COVID. Now, for our own club, for a number of reasons, 2020, 2021 it's not been an easy year for us. We've sort of been down on our numbers, so I put these out, little club flyers detailing who we are. And we are getting quite a few people from the North Wales locality, from Wrexham, from Flintshire, who've didn't know about us, including a guy who I'd worked with, who's still at Airbus, and who didn't know about that. So hopefully we'll be seeing some new faces, which we really do need at Wrexham Wings Model Club. So get through Sunday, then there's packing away. It's like frantic activity, people putting the models away for the takedown on Sunday. Seems to go much faster than the setting up on the Friday and on the so overall, I've never done Telford this sort of level. I did 2019 the 2 days, 2021 we just did the 1 day. And had an absolutely cracking, if somewhat knackering time. I spent more time at the table because there's only really myself and wife and our mate Martin. Now Martin is specializes in Israeli armor in 135th scale. He's got so many stories to tell about it, his level of expertise and his own military experience. Uh, he's a great modeler, absolute devotion to his subject matter, and he also supports the Models for Heroes. And his experience, when I was telling people about the Belize Harrier, he was one of the guys in Belize, so in the 1970s. It's an absolute treasure to have at the club, and love hearing his stories, and he brings so much to it with his recollections and his knowledge. Um, so from our club point of view, uh, a great 2.5 days. Love chatting to so many of you guys. I'm sorry if I haven't mentioned you um, here. Many of you come along saying thanks for the YouTube channel, and I hugely appreciate that. It's good to meet you guys. Had some great conversations this year um, from all sorts of people at their club table, and the people who saw us at the Wrexham Wings table as well. Love hearing people's stories, love their recollections when they see an aircraft arm or some subject, their own involvement and engagement with it. One guy that stuck out in my mind today was a pilot from Russia, and he was said, "Oh yeah, I've flown those little yaks, and because I had quite a lot of aircraft from my civil aircraft collection, I put out on the table." So guys, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. And thank you for all the great conversations at Telford this year, for the people I've met, Nata too, and all the rest of it. And so now what's going to follow this is a photo series of the stuff that stuck out in my mind. The best of show this year was the Dam Busters Lancaster 132nd scale dropping its bouncing bomb. Beautiful execution. I didn't focus as much as I normally do on the event tables, but got quite a lot of photos from there. I do apologize if I've been a little bit lackluster on that part. So guys, until the next Chance's View, which will hopefully be one where I'll be discussing Drakens and Vigans and that kind of stuff, is what I've got to get done before December, well, before year's up, so I'm ready for the next group build, which is going to be civil aircraft. And then after that group build, I'll probably dive into a few more variety of subjects, a few more picture frame builds and things like that, and have a bit of, we'll see where next year's going to take us. So thank you all for watching, thank you for your time. So God bless, take care. This is Johnson North Wales signing out, and now on to the slideshow.